Greetings and hello! In this video we will talk about relative clauses, and at the end you will find a quiz, so be sure to watch till the end. Relative clauses are subordinate clauses, which means they cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. They contain additional information about a person, thing, time or place. This extra information using a relative clause makes it clear to us who or what we mean. To introduce a relative sentence, we usually use the following words: which for things and animals. For example, have you watched the videos which I told you about? Who for people and animals when we want to give them a personality. For example, John Doe, who is giving us a lecture about relative clauses, knows it all. When for times. I still think about the night when the ghost appeared on the screen. Where for places. Do you remember the Irish pub where we had our first pint? Whom for people as the object of the relative clause. For example, the clown with whom I argued about the balloon just honked his nose. Whose for possessions. For example, the man whose wallet has been stolen is going to report the theft. And finally, why for reasons. For example, that is the reason why we create English videos. In English, we use two types of relative clauses, non-defining and defining clauses. But don't worry, it's easier than you think. First, we start with non-defining relative clause. If the relative clause introduces insignificant information that might be omitted without affecting the interpretation or the meaning of the main sentence, we must split it with commas from the main sentence. So, for example, my neighbor, who is a retired astronaut, grows prize-winning tomatoes. See, we can only say that our neighbor grows tomatoes and the sentence is perfectly fine. It does not define our neighbor. And defining relative clause. If the information introduced by a relative clause is required for a correct understanding of the meaning of the main sentence, we do not use commas. For example, the house where I grew up is now a museum, and the clause where I grew up cannot be omitted because it defines the house. And now it's a quiz time. Remember, you will find the answers in the description. Task number 1. Fill in the blanks with the correct relative pronouns. Choose who, whom, which, where, when, whose, or that. So, number 1. The restaurant I had my birthday dinner is now closed. 2. The author book I'm reading is giving a lecture tonight. 3. The time we finish the project will depend on how quickly we can gather the information. 4. The people I met at the conference were very interesting. 5. The car was parked in the driveway was blocking the street. Now task number 2. Which of the following sentences contain a non-defining relative clause? A. The book that I borrowed is very interesting. B. My neighbor, who is a doctor, volunteers at the hospital. C. The house where I lived as a child is now a store. And which of the following sentences contain a defining relative clause? A. My aunt, who lives in London, sent me a postcard. B. The painting that hangs in the museum is priceless. Or C. The park, which is near my house, is a playground. So, there you have it, relative clauses made simple. And remember to subscribe to iLingua for more ways to enhance your English. Thanks for watching.